Okay, we are live. I think we're live. I hope we're live. That was my chair, by the way. Yep, we'd be live. Yay, Paget's here. I was working on edits for a drawing book I'm working on. That was redundant, wasn't it? And I need to show some more steps of things. So I thought, kill two birds with one stone. These young ladies are two of my granddaughters. A few years ago, they look older now. But this portrait, this head shape, I used in a painting, and I love the angle of it. I don't know what it is about it. So I wanted to go ahead and do a quick sketch of it, and then I can use frames of it for my other project that I needed. I'm making headway on edits. I'm one of those that doesn't like edits. I prefer the making rather than going back and, doing the fine stuff. Sorry if you heard that. I forgot to turn off text. Let's see. Paget, what are you working on? Words fail me. What are you working on this afternoon? What's the plan? This probably won't take me too terribly long, she says, and they may be her famous last words. I'm hoping the sunlight doesn't creep in over here on this side. I'm going to use just a regular old number 2 pencil. This is just like the type that you pick up, Walmart or whatever. 2B is, and I could do the to be or not to be, but I'll spare you because we know I'm corny anyway. Thank you for being here, by the way. I appreciate it more than I can say. If you're watching the replay, I try and have a live stream on Monday afternoons doing artwork. It varies on what I'm doing. I've been doing a lot of oil pastel and just straight drawing with pencil. But the thing is, I'm working on a video series of basic drawing skills. So, and those are on Sundays for right now. And the first one came out yesterday. Where was I going with this? Oh, Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, I have live stream sprints where we work on projects for 25-minute sprints, and then we chat for about 5 minutes or so. It's very laid back, but it's very productive. It's a good way to get going on things for me anyway. I'm going to fold this back so that I can have it closer to the size that I want it, because see how that kind of fits on the, and I'm going to show how you can measure with an item and get your proportions correct, because see how that fits just almost perfect on that page. I don't want to copy it exactly, but I do want to make sure that my proportions are correct so that it looks like her, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm just taking a moment to think here. Eraser wise, I'm just going to be using the eraser on the end of this because I know it's a good one. But I also like to use a kneaded eraser. So let me grab that real quick. And if this doesn't do dark enough for me, I can grab one of my other pencils that I've got handy. I'm just kneading the eraser to kind of clean it a little bit. Okay. I don't always use a reference image for portrait stuff, but in this case, and she's looking to the side and up. So if this is her head, and it's going to be distorted a little bit because of the angle, then her eyes are about halfway between here and here. So that's what that line is. And then I'll put a line here for her nose and one for her mouth, and then her little chin is right there. The eyes start out as sockets. They don't start out as details. Sorry, I put that angle in there too soon. You can see her eye on this side. See, just barely. So I'm going to try and get this profile edge in here. Just basics. Angled lines. The inside of the eye lines up with the edge of the nose when you're looking at a face straight on. So that's why I put that line there, because that's where her nose is. And remember, it's a curved surface. It's not flat. The center of the eye, when you're looking at it straight forward, usually hits about the corner of the mouth. And that's just the shadow shape there of her, not the cleft on her chin, but just the shadow. So we've got the corner of the eye here, and if this is the center of the eye, and that's the socket. And let's get the rest of it here. She's looking off to the edge here. And if this is the socket, her eyebrow fits in there. I'm going to just keep breaking it down into smaller areas. Her cheekbone right here, something like that. And there's a shadow right in here. I'm going to kind of mark where that is. That's the wrong angle. I know some people are celebrating, or not celebrating, but observing Veterans Day today. We did have mail today in the U.S. And I was surprised. We didn't have it Saturday instead, it just seems odd to me. We always used to have it as on a Monday. And I'm seeing here that I'm getting this too high. If you compare the two, this is a little bigger than that, but I've got this up here too high. So I'm going to bring that down. Which means that needs to go away there. This paper's nice and slick, so it's... Oh, thank you, Angela. Thank you for the reminder. I took a break from this channel for a couple of weeks. I spent time with the grandkids, and sorry about that. I don't know if you can hear that chime or not. But I spent time with the grandkids and just kind of chilling, relaxing. I'll probably do the same thing around Thanksgiving time. Because I tend to go at it. I get obsessed with things. And I get hyper focused. Another thing, the mouth, the ear, when you're looking at a face straight on, the ear, the bottom of it is usually lined up with the mouth. But since she's kind of looking up, it doesn't exactly. And it's hidden by hair a lot anyway, but I still want to make known that she does have an ear. I'm just going to start shading in some of these shapes that need it. And then I can define the shadows. So Angela, what are you working on today? What you doing? What's the deal? I don't know if there's something in like the way the stars are aligning, or he's just a nervous dog, or what the story is, but Poncho has just been like really needy lately. Like I can't stop to do anything without him begging for attention. So if you hear him bark or get excited about something, that's what's going on. He just is. He's been a needy dog here lately. I'm just blocking in areas at this point. So I know sort of where that line's not necessary. That one there, that was to mark the edge of the nose to the inside of the eye. I did a brief course on Thinkific. I created one on drawing, and it's closed now, but I'm going to reopen it again once I get this drawing book edited, and that way I have it as more of a guideline, because I didn't feel like the last time through, I offered it as a beta. I didn't feel like it was strong enough. Your tabby cat's been doing the same thing. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's been like the last few days. New moon tonight. Oh, maybe that. Angela had an eye appointment first thing this morning, so I was on the road. New glasses. Ooh. Do you remember when you got your first pair of glasses? I bet you do. I'm doing this turning it around to check my shapes and make sure that I'm not, it gives me a fresh perspective to make it short. And then I can make sure I'm getting things situated where I want them. I'll tend to hyper focus on a certain area, and this helps me keep it moving and not get locked down in one spot. I don't know that much about like moon phases. I mean, like most people I know, like if there's a full moon, there tends to be. And she was just SD Hudson was just talking about it in her sprints about moon phases and how we're made up of water. And the moon has an effect on water, so it only stands to reason that it would have some type of an impact on us. But beyond that, that's it. That's all I know. New moon, maybe a little bit. You're supposed to be thinking about things you want to manifest, I guess. If anybody knows, it's sort of like a fresh start. Don't quote me because I don't know that much about it. Like I said, I'd love to know more about it. So if anybody else knows some good info, I know Sarah Cannon has things she does at certain times. And this won't look exactly the way I want it to look right off the bat. It's going to look worse before it gets better. Like I've cut that off of. And I probably won't get the detail of all of her hair over here. I'm going to focus in on this area. Because she's so cute. No, actually, it's because I want to get a likeness, but I want to keep it loose. She is a teenager now. hard to believe. I guess she was more of a tween in this photo. So I'm going with the big shapes and then breaking them down into smaller shapes, which is standard. She looks like her eyes, like she's scared right there because that line's right there. I need a softer edge. I'm going to get out a blending stump. It helps me smooth some edges, and just, I don't know if I can find it. Yeah, the one I want is not in here, but we'll just use what I have. And I'm just checking it on a separate sheet of paper so I don't get something smeared on there that I don't want on there. After a full moon, I think about things you want to cast off. Okay. So we begin to approach the full moon. You want to focus on what you want to acquire. Okay, that makes sense. You've worn glasses for 52 years. Wow. I got them in middle school. It was like everybody in my family. That's what we called junior high. That was kind of when everybody in my family discovered they needed them. If you didn't have them by then, it was unusual. Even though I'm smearing this into the page, I can still erase it. I was one of 6 original. Imagine glasses for 6 kids all at the same time. Sorry if I get quiet. It's because I'm focusing in on the task at hand. It's a little like walking and chewing gum at the same time. But once you have the position of things down to where you want them, then you can start focusing in on more of the details. And I'm checking it in a mirror. So I can be sure I'm not too far off anyway. good thing about using a blending stump is after you use it for a little bit, you get enough on there that you can use it as a drawing tool itself. It's still got a lot of work to do. Your dad and stepmom got custody of me in my school. After I needed them, I didn't recall unnatural. 1970. I started kindergarten in 1969. So I wonder if we aren't pretty close to the same. I'm just making adjustments here. I think her and her sister were watching a movie doing that. I did a large painting of this, but I need to rework her hand in there. It looks like her hand's just kind of on the painting. The more you look at the photo or your reference, the more you'll see. She is my youngest grandchild. Just FYI. A granddaughter, not grandchild. I misspoke. Goodness, I have quite a few after she was born. There are 8 in total, counting honorary. Her chin needs to kind of come up more. because she does have that shadow under there. So her chin sort of comes up like that. I'll cut that off. And I just realized I did not eat anything for lunch. I can feel my blood sugar getting low. So if I'm going to go grab something real quick from the fridge that I need. Just some Gatorade, just to keep my blood sugar up. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Gatorade. My hands will start getting a little shaky if I don't. I'm not diabetic. But hypoglycemia runs in my family. So usually, well, it's really weird when we're a family gathering. Somebody will ask who has the peanut butter, because we've all gotten in the habit of taking a spoonful of peanut butter when our blood sugar gets low. Yeah, don't forget to pick up your yogurt, Angela. Let's see how close we are. I think we're pretty close. Let's soften that edge right there, so it's not so. That's Poncho. You just heard him shake. Trying to get that collar puffer PJs. Doesn't seem that big to me, and I've made it rather large. I got this pencil at it was an art gathering. It was at art, what they call Art Inc. here, like ink, like incorporated, where you cover like your artist statement, you workshop your bio, things like that. I did the short version, but they sent you a packet with materials for it, like a regular conference. I found it helpful. It was the second time I had done it, and I don't think I was as prepared for it the first time as I was the second time, or as in need of it either. Check comments every once in a while. You heard Pancho. He's such a good dog. He really is. I do need to do better on his crate training. He was 3 years old when he came to us, but he's taking to it. I don't know if they had done that before we had gotten him. I don't know if it was completely new, a new concept, using a crate, but it's become his like safe space. So and if you were around when we had a house guest, there was a dog I found. I don't know if I had mentioned that before or. He has a home now. We found a home for him, and he's doing well. It's with somebody we know, so it's I haven't talked to him here lately about it, but I wonder how big he's gotten because he was such a big dog. And he was only 3 months old. That's what the animal rescue that was full told us. Which is why we had him. That'll teach me next time to either eat something before or have some Gatorade nearby. And that's sort of a lost edge there. So is her nose. She still kind of looks like she's startled to me. Like, expression. I know it's the way her eyes are. I just automatically pick up that eraser, even though I need this one. There's a light spot on her cheek right there. Just like if you were applying makeup and there was a highlight. You know, it's getting to a point where I'm afraid I'm going to overwork it. Oops. I'm just checking the comments here. And to looking at the camera, it gives me a different perspective. And I can see part of what my problem is. So has anybody been reading anything interesting? I've been doing a lot more reading here lately. I finished Stephen King's If It Bleeds, which was actually 3 short stories. And then I also finished the second one in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I was looking at the monitor, my computer monitor, to see. That needs darker. That needs darker. That needs lighter. And I'm trying to decide what to read next. If I have the third one to the series that I could start today. Which seems like the natural choice. But I got quite a few books at Barnes & Noble when I went to see the kids. And now I need to decide what I'm going to read next, because I finished that one last night. Most of them I have are writing craft books, or there's like Cormac McCarthy. I've got one of his. My daughter spotted it before I did. Which might have been one of those texts, because I texted her to see if she wanted the second one in that series. Before I donated it somewhere else. I'm comparing it to the computer screen to see if what I'm shooting for is happening or not. It really helps give me a different viewpoint. Since I just wanted this to be a quick sketch, I don't want that. What I want is a highlight in there. There we go. Those are remainders from marking proportions. I'm gonna have to quit soon because I don't want to overwork it, and this was more of a loose drawing as an example. Primarily example of working from large to small shapes and blocking things in. I do appreciate, pardon me, I do appreciate being here this afternoon and or watching the replay. It really helps. Helps with the channel. Lets YouTube know that this is something you want to see. I think I need to pull that up a little bit into there. Now I'm starting to get to where I'm probably going to overwork it. Let's see. There's a slight delay on. That's better. That's better. I think I'm going to stop there because I can sit and nitpick at this all afternoon, and that's not what I'm going for. So I'm going to quit there. I am going to stop and let it go. She says as she picks up the lender. I'm realizing I didn't get some of that texture in there of her. Like faux sheepskin collar. But I'm gonna let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Somebody tell me let it go. Okay, I'm gonna stop. So that's what we wound up with. What is today? Oh, I should know what today is. Today is November 13th, 23. Demo. Okay, all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you more than I can say. You all rock. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I will hopefully see you next time. Y'all take care and be safe. Be well. Bye bye.